Well, the opposition last night revealed savings that customers will receive from its gas reservation policy. Joining us live now is the Deputy Opposition Leader Sussan Ley. Sussan, thanks for your time this morning. So if you're elected, when will folks start to see these savings?
Well, when we are elected after the 3rd of May, and if we have the great privilege of governing this country, Pete, gas prices will start to come down, which means power prices will start to come down. And it means that for both households and businesses, we will actually see a real movement on this. So the direction of price reduction is so critical at this time, because all we've seen under this Albanese government is prices go up.
So what's the phase in? How much time are you allowing for it to start and when it to finish that range of savings?
It'll start by the end of the year, and that will mean that we will.
It'll start by the end of the year, so not if you win, not right away.
It will start right away, but by the end of the year, people will start to see price savings. But Pete, the important thing is this needs to get underway as soon as possible, and what we know is that under Labor, we've had massive price rises, 30% in the cost of energy, and businesses just can't function like that. So note well, our gas plan is all about getting supply into the system with $1 billion of new infrastructure to build that supply. It's about saying to the gas producers, reserve your gas for onshore, reserve it for Australians, Aussie gas for Aussie businesses and households, and this will get underway straight away following the election. People will start to see a reduction in their power bills, and that's the most important thing. Now, the modelling, which people asked for, is out there now, so they can see for themselves how this will work, how it will actually bring down prices. And, you know, we talk about household prices all the time, Pete, but what I'm focused on as the Shadow Minister for Industry is what will this mean for industrial processes. Now, when I travel the country and I see that manufacturers can't actually make things with gas. Remember, gas is a feedstock as well as a power supply. They can't make things anymore in Australia. The Prime Minister says it's all about made in Australia. Well, it's not all about made in Australia. It's all about made offshore at this point in time. So when producers and manufacturers get access to cheaper gas, they really can turn around some of the pain that they've been experiencing so far.
OK, what do you expect those percentages to mean in dollar terms?
We know that 15% reductions in industrial gas supplies is vital. And that means, as I said, that manufacturing can start to happen.
OK, but what does that mean in dollar terms?
I know,
whether it's business or whether it's people at homes, well, what's a dollar figure?
Well, every producer uses different amounts of gas, Pete, and this is about getting between 50 and 100 petajoules of gas back into the domestic supply system. When you increase the supply, you get more supply and you get reduced costs. And providers are going to have to do that. That system of levies and rebates that was announced in this gas plan will make that happen.
OK, but have you got a range? Have you got a range on what people...
different amounts
or are you reluctant to go there because the former government did?
Well, what the former government did was promise a reduction that they could never achieve of $275, and that never happened. And you know what? They then walked away from that by simply saying it wasn't our modelling in the first place. It will be a reduction, and our modelling shows what it will be for industrial and for retail, and it's coming down, Pete, and that's the most important thing. How good will it be to see power prices, energy prices, gas prices start to come down? We've had a government that's really been at war with gas since they came into power. We've had a state government in Victoria that has banned the connections of new gas supplies. And that's effectively saying, don't have any gas in your industry, don't have any gas in your household. So how good will it be to see gas prices start to come down? And as I said, when you look at the contrast, which people need to do in this election, they need to look at the contrast between what Labor has said and what we have said. And what Labor has said is, actually, we can't deliver your $275 reduction. It wasn't our modelling, and we're walking away. And what they've delivered is a $1,300 increase. And there is simply
so what's
no
your figure? If it's a $1,300
increase,
increase, if it's a decrease 7% in the household per month, what's, depending on your bill, that could range anywhere between what,
Depends
15, 20 bucks to
exactly.
whatever?
It depends on your bill, Pete. It depends what I'm not going to pick a typical bill because everybody uses gas on their cooktop, might use gas on the barbecue. But if you talk about an industrial process, that might use a lot of gas, and that's a significant change to your cost base. It puts you on a different position on the cost curve, so it means you can actually manufacture in this country instead of going offshore.
Sure, this is not going to be easy because if it was, it would have been done already. Major players in foreign countries are against it. They say it will erode confidence and drive up local costs, and in fact say they'll sue for lost profits. Would taxpayers be on the hook if they do?
I'm quite relaxed about the fact, Pete, that multinational gas companies don't like these arrangements and would like to stick with what they have. I understand that. But this is about Australian gas for Australian consumers, and we unashamedly stand behind consumers every single day of the week here because we know that it's consumers that are feeling the pain and that it's consumers that this government has left behind. So we'll work through that with the national gas companies. But as I said, a system of levies and rebates will actually mean that that gas stays in Australia and reduces, as I said, industrial gas costs by 15%, making a real difference. I often talk to people, Pete, I want to say this, and you don't realise how the fact that gas is used in a feedstock, it's in everything around us. It's in fertilisers, it's in food manufacturing processes, it's in bricks, it's in aluminium, it's in steel, it's in glass, it's in everything that goes to build the houses that this government has failed to build. It's in our civil construction, it's on our roads, it's on our bridges. And, you know, we have had massive fails by this government when it comes to an energy policy that is driving. I mean, energy policy is damaging our economy.
We are out of time, Susan, but I just want to ask how, if you know how Peter Dutton's dad is doing. We were alarmed to get that news last night.
Look, our thoughts are with Peter and Kiralee and Bruce and the whole family, and I know that everyone was thinking of Peter and that personal issue as they watched the debate last night. What I watched, Pete, was a leader, a real leader, who was confident, who was secure, who was someone who could manage this economy in difficult and uncertain times. And I watched Anthony Albanese. I'll let him give you those updates later in the day, Pete. But as I said, I thought the debate last night, which really, in tough personal circumstances for Peter, showcased someone who absolutely has a plan for this country and knows how to get us back on track, and a very weak, indecisive Prime Minister who stumbled about all over the place. We got to go. Susan, thank you.